crude oil. Crude oil is a fossil fuel that formed from the remains of ancient organisms, such as plants, algae, and zooplankton, that lived millions of years ago in oceans and lakes. These organisms died and sank to the bottom of the water, where they were buried by layers of sediment and subjected to high pressure and temperature over a long period of time. This process transformed the organic matter into a mixture of hydrocarbons, which is crude oil. Crude oil is usually found in underground reservoirs or near the surface in oil sands. It is extracted by drilling machines and then refined and separated into various products, such as gasoline, diesel, kerosene, asphalt, plastics, and chemicals. Crude oil is an important source of energy and materials for modern life. The modern oil industry began in the mid-19th century with the discovery of the world's first commercially viable oil well in the USA. The demand for oil increased with the invention of the motor car in 1885, which ran on gasoline, a byproduct of the kerosene production process. In 1908, oil was discovered in the Middle East, which would become the major source of global supply. Crude oil is a fossil fuel that is extracted from the ground or under the sea by drilling wells and pumping it out. Crude oil is a mixture of many different hydrocarbons, which are organic compounds that contain only carbon and hydrogen. Crude oil needs to be refined before it can be used as a fuel or as a raw material for other products. The refining process involves separating, converting, and treating the crude oil into various fractions or products. The main steps of the refining process are separation. Crude oil is heated and vaporized in furnaces and then sent to distillation units, where it is separated into different fractions based on their boiling points. The lightest fractions, such as gasoline and liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, rise to the top of the distillation tower, while the heaviest fractions, such as residual fuel oil and asphalt, settle at the bottom. Conversion. Some of the heavier fractions are converted into lighter and more valuable products by cracking, reforming, alkylation, or other methods. Cracking breaks down large hydrocarbon molecules into smaller ones by using heat, pressure, catalysts, or hydrogen. Reforming rearranges hydrocarbon molecules to increase their octane number, which is a measure of their quality as gasoline components. Alkylation combines small hydrocarbon molecules to form larger ones that are also good for gasoline. Treatment. The fractions or products are treated to remove impurities, such as sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, metals, and salts. Treatment methods include hydrotreating, which uses hydrogen and catalysts to remove sulfur and other contaminants, sweetening, which uses caustic soda or other chemicals to remove acidic compounds, and blending, which mixes different fractions or additives to improve the quality and performance of the products. The main products of crude oil refining are gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, kerosene, heating oil, lubricants, petrochemicals, and asphalt. These products are used for various purposes, such as transportation, heating, electricity generation, manufacturing, and construction. Crude oil is a fossil fuel that has many uses in modern society, but it also has many environmental impacts. Some of the main environmental impacts of crude oil are air pollution. Burning crude oil and its products releases carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide, and other pollutants into the atmosphere. These gases contribute to global warming, acid rain, smog, and respiratory problems. Water pollution. Spilling crude oil or its products into water bodies can harm aquatic life and ecosystems. Oil can coat the feathers and fur of birds and mammals, reducing their insulation and causing hypothermia. Oil can also poison fish and shellfish, affect their reproduction, and damage their habitats. Soil pollution. Leaking crude oil or its products into the soil can contaminate the land and affect plant growth. Oil can also seep into groundwater and affect drinking water quality. Habitat loss. Exploring and drilling for crude oil can disturb natural habitats and biodiversity. Seismic surveys can harm marine animals that use sound for communication and navigation. Drilling rigs can destroy vegetation and wildlife habitats. Hydraulic fracturing can use large amounts of water and chemicals that may affect nearby ecosystems. Some alternatives to fossil fuels are renewable and clean sources of energy that do not emit greenhouse gases or air pollution. Some of the most common and promising alternatives to fossil fuels are solar power. Solar power is the conversion of sunlight into electricity using photovoltaic cells or solar thermal collectors. Solar power is abundant, inexhaustible, and can be installed on rooftops, fields, or deserts. Solar power can also be used to heat water, cook food, and charge batteries. Wind power. Wind power is the generation of electricity using wind turbines that capture the kinetic energy of the wind. Wind power is widely available, variable, and can be installed on land or offshore. Wind power can also be used to pump water, grind grains, and produce hydrogen. Hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power is the production of electricity using the potential energy of water stored in dams, reservoirs, or rivers. Hydroelectric power is reliable, flexible, and can be used to regulate the grid frequency and voltage. Hydroelectric power can also be used to irrigate crops, provide drinking water, and create recreational opportunities. Tidal and wave power. Tidal and wave power are the generation of electricity using the movement of water caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun, tidal, or by the wind and storms, wave. Tidal and wave power are predictable, renewable, and can be installed along coastlines or in the ocean. Tidal and wave power can also be used to desalinate water, protect shorelines, and support marine life. Biomass and biofuels. Biomass and biofuels are the conversion of organic matter, such as plants, algae, animal waste, or municipal solid waste, into energy or fuel. Biomass and biofuels are versatile, biodegradable, and can be used to generate heat, electricity, or transportation fuel. Biomass and biofuels can also be used to reduce waste, improve soil quality, and create jobs. These are some of the main alternatives to fossil fuels that can help us transition to a low-carbon future. However, each alternative has its own advantages and disadvantages, such as cost, efficiency, environmental impact, social acceptance, and technical feasibility. Therefore, it is important to evaluate each alternative carefully and use a combination of them to meet our energy needs in a sustainable way. Subscribe for more videos like these.